The next few questions are going to be really difficult and like more philosophical.
그 다음 질문은 몇 개는 이거 곤란하고 그리고 좀 철학적인이라고 말했습니다.
I want them to know how they believe that people could do that kind of stuff to other human beings. For me, it's honestly very difficult to understand. I cannot understand how people could murder and take away people's rights and starve them to death. It's beyond my comprehension. So I want to know if they can give me any kind of insight.
그 다른 사람들이 사람들이 다른 사람들한테 고통스럽게 해주는 게 이해 못한다고.
아랑곳하지 않고 자기 정권만 유지하고 자기네 행락만 누리면 되는 그런 나쁜 세상이에요.
He said that truthfully, North Korea is not really a country. It's more like hell. And the fact that they don't care about the people who are suffering inside the country shows that the people who run the government are really cold-hearted and that they rather keep the status quo and their own privileges rather than helping its own people.
I got another question for you. Well, actually, I know that they're Christians, okay? And I want to know how they can believe as Christians that that God can allow that to happen without stopping them, you know? Because for me, man, it gets very frustrating for me sometimes. I know that, you know, I know God can do anything, and God could certainly help the North Korean people. So how do they feel as Christians with, you know, believing in both? And can you ask her?
이거 기독교이라서 어머님한테 물어보죠.
빨리 잡아가라 안 잡아가고 가만히 둬두냐 참 이견이죠 이견.
He said that God made this world for us, this world, and everything in this world is good, but we mismanagement. And one of the best cases of where man mismanaged society or the world is North Korea. And when they were in North Korea, they always prayed to God to help liberate North Korea and the North Korean people. But as time goes by, and they see from their vantage point here, they see that God really can't help the North Korean people. It's not really God's responsibility to help the North Korean people. It's people's responsibility.
Wow, that's a really good insight. Wow, I'm actually a bit shocked right now that he said that. Speaking of which, I want to ask another follow-up question, because I would say as a foreigner here, well, okay, first of all, let me say that I've been to North Korea 2 times, and I remember distinctively seeing the people like that. It's the only thing I've ever seen personally that I would say was evil, okay? So I knew I wanted to do something to help out, okay? But when I got back here to South Korea, I realized that most South Koreans do not care at all. In fact, they don't want reunification because the only concern is their economy. And in fact, I just read this week that it said that South Korea's like credit rating or whatever call it would suffer if they merged. Okay, so the question is, setting up the question, I want to know, do they believe that most South Koreans, as I feel, are more interested in plastic surgery and computer games than they are about the fact that their brothers are starving and being tortured just north of them?
어머니하고 아버지 입장에서는 대부분 대한민국 사람들이 북한에 관심이 또 많이 걸고 있는 것 같아요.
북한 때문에 이 남한 사람들 부담이 너무 많은 걸 이렇게 느끼고 관심 없어요. 좀 안타깝지. 같은 민족으로서 서로 돕고 이렇게 해야 되겠는데 관심 좀 적어요.
He said that he's been living in South Korea for 1.5 years, and he says from his viewpoint, most South Koreans really don't have an interest, or they don't really care about North Korea, and he thinks like most South Koreans, they really are more concerned about themselves and about their own economy, and they don't want to receive any burden that comes with North Korea.
그리고 이건 또 정치적인 좀 철학적인 면에서 내가 또 말씀드리겠는데, 정치적인 철학적인 면에서 이 한반도는 남북한이 통일돼야지, 반드시 통일돼야 되는데 이 주변 강대국들이 통일을 저해하고 있다. 예? 이렇게 이제 생각하고 있어요. 저뿐이 아니라 많은 사람들이. 미국이 남북이 통일되는 거 바라지 않고 중국은 또 더욱 당연히 다 거기 한반도를 노리는 목적이 있길래, 이해관계 있길래. 그러니까 이 통일이 상당히 좀 빨리 돼야 될 건 이렇게 오래 지속되고 안타깝네요. 그 사이에 북한 주민들만 고생하잖아요.
And he said that he has a more political and philosophical statement to say. He says that for the Koreas to reunite, both the people of North and South Korea have to want to reunite, but also it's not only because it's something the Korean people have to will, but because people outside the peninsula has no interest, or in some cases they don't want Korea to reunite. For example, America, Japan, China, and Russia does not want North and South Korea to reunite, because if it reunited, then those countries' goals won't be realized.